There we go. Now we're recording. Okay, welcome everybody to the magical world of EMME. I'm going to share my screen and the slideshow. Oh, I suppose I better let them back in. My participants thing on. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, we're just starting recording, and I'm just about to start sharing the slideshow, and you can take it from there.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with the Wi-Fi today. I'm just getting in and out, but I hope it will stop. Doesn't depend on me, unlikely. Okay.
Okay. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Marvelous. Okay. We are EMME, part of Bertani Consulting.com, and we're all about eliciting, mapping and managing emotions for personal and professional growth. And we're going to go through today what that means, what we do, and how you can get involved in that, either as a geographer, as a client, as a licensee, and letting you know a little bit more about everything. So Marco, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody before we lose you again.
Sure. My name is Marco. I've been doing a few things in my life, like everybody. After my studies in political sciences, I started working in the confectionery sector. Then I worked in the distilleries sector, alcohol from agricultural products. And then I founded my own company, and a limited company, consulting, 12 years ago. And during this period, I discovered a picture of myself, the one that you see there, that is the cover of a book that I wrote. And from that book, a project starts. And within this project, we've been creating with some and a growing number of friends from all over the world a network called EMME. So today we will be talking about more about who we are, and also in this whole project I can say that we will talk more about who we are and not about what we have been doing in our life, because that's a sort of label that each of us has. They are important, but not so important in this context. So that's why when we do this kind of, this is a typical short bio of the geographers of emotions that are part of EMME. So you can see from a professional picture and also a vocational picture on the right side. And each of us also has given himself or herself a nickname that is just a mix between the favorite place on earth, in my case it's Patagonia, and the emotion that each of us feels closer to herself or himself. In my case is wonder, and I'm really a person, I'm full of wonder, and I hope that this emotion will always stay with me. So, and wonder is also very connected with emotions. So that's basically in a nutshell about me. Now, tell us something about you, Ali.
Okay. I am Ali Bagley. I am many things to many people, but for the purpose of EMME, I'm a couple of things. I'm a writer's coach and a business coach, and I deliver courses on developing solid business foundation in your business and on writing skills. I've come through the corporate background. I have been in project and proposal management. Excuse me a second, phone's just got it.
That's a nice music. Is that you?
You know, I remember once when I was at college that I think, phone's off, right. I've got a feeling that might have been Lucia trying to get in touch with me. Anyway, yes, I remember when I was at college doing business management studies and my phone went off and we got knocked points, and I was supposed to remember always never to have my phone still on during a meeting. But here we go. So yes, Ali Bagley. life coach, writer's coach, business coach, author, geographer of emotions, all kinds of different stuff that I do. I'm also the director of business for EMME. So I work with all the new geographers, new licensees to train them, bring them on, support them and help them in everything they need to do in order to develop their services under their EMME badge. So amongst many other things. So occasionally Marco calls me his right hand and other times he calls me his pain in the neck. But either way, that's me, that's what I'm here to do. So I'm going to hand over to Marco to tell you about the magical world of EMME because it is Marco's baby. Oh, first of all,
Yeah. That's the schedule of today. I guess it will take something like 1 hour, but we are open, of course, if there will be any questions at the end or any kind of curiosity about EMME. We will go through these points. So let's start with the introduction to EMME. That is basically explaining in the acronym there is everything. There is the Latin where you used to say nomen omen. In the name there is a destiny. So when we create the acronym of EMME, it's not like some malicious people thought EMME it's the initial of Marco. That's nothing to do with that. Well, nothing. But it's just the initials of my God, eliciting, mapping, managing emotions. And this is exactly what we are trying to do in terms of geographers of emotions in all our activities that, as you will see, are of different kinds. They might be coaching, there might be counseling, consulting, journeys, or river games. But in all these activities, somewhere more we are more focused on eliciting, somewhere more focused on managing or on mapping. But basically, these three steps are always there in all our activities because we think, as a general philosophy, that we should not be afraid of our emotions. We should not keep them inside us, but try to elicit them. And we have developed a few methodologies in order to elicit our emotions. Once emotions are there, we will try to, how to say, map out our emotions and then manage. It's not a word I like to match too much with emotions, but I mean by that to get along well with our emotion, to better recognize our emotion. So everything began, as I said before, from a picture that I found a few years ago. It was a picture. Maybe you can go to the next slide, please, Ali. Yeah, this one. I was an aunt of mine always told me, Marco, there is a picture of you when you were a kid. You were something like 3 years old, and you were with a suitcase. You were going somewhere, and you were just happy, and you were smiling. And this aunt told me, and it's just like you are right now. I was then around 50, and but we couldn't find this picture. I mean, we've been searching for it for many years, and just for a coincidence, or maybe not, after 1 week after this, my aunt died, I incidentally found this picture and I saw it for the first time. And for me, it was really an emotional shock, a very good one. I started to cry because really my aunt was right. I can see, I could and I can, and I will always see really my essence in this picture, because those who know me, I know that really my essence is traveling. I didn't do anything else than traveling in my life, and so that's why I was really touched by this picture. And in the very same time, I was studying. Can you go to the next slide, please, Ali? I was studying. Since I moved by passions in my life, at the tender age of 50, I went back to university for studying emotional geography. And in the faculty of engineering, an enlightened professor introduced me to this map that you see here, that it's the map of tender of Madame de Scudéry. It is considered the first emotional map of history. And this lady, for the first time, she pulled out, she elicited her inner landscapes, and she represented them in this form by creating emotional places, imaginary places. Now, this map, it's not today the day where we will go into the details of this map, but it has had a huge importance in the history of cartography, and it is full of meanings in the French society of the 17th century. That is considered the first manifesto of the feminism, and many other things. But going back to the theme of today, that is how to represent our emotions, that was for me really a source of great inspiration, because it's really, yeah, great. Sorry about switching from the beauty of the map of tender of Madame de Scudéry to my map, but as Ali always says, and I was the first to say that, it's not important to be a good designer to make the cartography we will be talking about. As you can see, my drawing is really quite poor, but to me, at least, it is extremely important, because by matching the finding of that picture, by matching the information that I got by studying the history of emotional cartography, one day I was in front of a white paper, and I don't even know why I started drawing. I asked myself very easy questions like, where do I come from? You know, this kind of existential question that sometimes we ask ourselves, where I am and where will I go? So to answer this question, it came to me quite natural to draw it in the form of a river initially, to which then I added places that had a meaning during my life, but also in my previous life, or in my afterlife, if any, because the timeline of this map is quite long, because I started imagining myself as a seed of man in the night of times. That's why I have drawn the first place on this map is Canyon of Genesis, that is representing really the very beginning of the world, where I thought I could be there in form of a seed of man. And then I just explained, but without using words. Then I added words in the book to explain the map. But basically, when I drew this map, and it took me 3 months. So now, when you will make, hopefully next week, the webinar on how to learn emotional mapping, we will very generously give you 40 minutes to draw your map. But it took to me, I shouldn't tell you that, 3 months, night and day, to finalize this map. Okay, the beginning, the first half an hour is very important, because you draw everything. Then you can try to fix some points or to add some other places. But this is to say that to me, it was such an exciting discovery, the possibility of drawing your life in terms of emotional places, in terms of imaginary places, and we will see how to create these imaginary places. So in this map, in one page, there is all my life, because then I could talk 3 hours or maybe more for each single place that I have drawn on the map, because each place is full of meaning, and this will be the same for all of you. So why I tell you this? I tell you this just to share my experience, because you will learn it going on in this project, as I really hope you will. You will know all the geographers of emotion, or just friends of the project, and the philosophy of this project is that none of us feels like a professor, none of us feels like teaching something to someone else, but just we have the strong wish of sharing our experience, our emotions, and that's something, I guess, extremely beautiful and important for all of us. So that's just to tell you something about the beginning of the project. So the picture and the emotional cartography, and then this map. So we have created EMME just a couple of years ago, but from the book that was published in 2016 to date, we have been doing a lot of things, like we organized more than 100 events in terms of conferences, webinars, no, at those times, seminars, physical seminars, and journeys and things, and many things. But basically, we can sum it up, all our activities, defining it a multifaceted journey through the emotional geography. And the goals of this journey are different. First of all, we want to discover our vocation. That's why we always start all kinds of activities by discovering or rediscovering our vocation. We can use the picture of our childhood, but many other tools. Then we would like, as I said, to elicit, map out, and recognize and better manage our emotions. And by simply doing this, we also develop our skills, soft skills, technical skill, and managerial skills. But we are, I can say, focused on soft skills, you know. And we can do this in many ways. We can follow one or more, or all of them, of these what we call educational paths that can be consulting, coaching, or counseling, travel, guiding, or mentoring. Now we have two kinds of traveling: a physical and also metaphysical journeys, and river games. River games can be played as such that we have something like 20 river games that are all based on emotions, and they can be played as such or being integrated in our courses or in our journeys. So, in a nutshell, this is this is the flow chart. That's how it works, EMME. The next one, please, Ali. You were putting some numbers before.
I'm just trying to make sure everybody's got the link for today.
Yeah, okay. The skills, also this is, as I said, we are focusing on helping people and ourselves too, because each time we deliver a course or we do a journey, we learn so much. So, but it's all about improving our skills. We have a list of 64 skills. There are many classifications for skills, as you know, but we guess that those listed here are really the most important skills. But again, it depends a lot on the kind of course, on the kind of proposal that we deliver, because some of them are really focused on communications, some others on knowledge, on integrated knowledge, or on technical soft skills, because we deliver these courses also a lot in corporate environments. So in those cases, you can imagine, we are focused, yes, on soft skills because they are very important everywhere. That's why in Italian we call them competenze trasversali, because they are transversal to all kinds of activities. But in those cases, we also try to deliver something in terms of how to improve the technical skills. Because let's say we do a course on international trade, of course we will be discussing also on things that are very peculiar to that kind of business and so on. So we have done with the geographers of emotion a lot of maps about skills, because emotional maps can be done of many kinds. You will see it. Applications are really infinitive. But okay, this is one example of our young geographer of emotion from Portugal. This is we have drawn, each of us, the 10 main skills developed by EMME. So in this case, Diogo had this picture of what, according to him and to his vision, we are delivering. And we have many other maps of this kind. But this was just to let you know what is the center of our activity, developing skills.
Okay, so who are we? What do we do? We are currently 73 geographers of emotions. We have one purpose, one shared common goal, which is to share our experience and knowledge for the betterment of others. And that sounds very cliched and twee, but it is absolutely what we do and what we need to do and what we are driven to do. It's all about sharing knowledge that helps others to improve either personally or professionally. And to do that, we bring experience from all kinds of walks of life. Everything from 18, 19-year-old students right the way through to the more mature and experienced people. We have everything from coaches, CEOs, actors, students, directors, dancers, leaders, doctors, poets, lawyers, office workers. We have everybody from every walk of life, from many, many places around the world, speaking lots of different languages. But everything we do is all about sharing our knowledge and experience. And so, for an example, this is just a few of some of our geographers. And as you can see, as we were introducing ourselves before, we all have a biography that goes into our catalogue. We have Lucia up there on the top left-hand side, who delivers courses on emotional table setting, which I'd never even thought of before, but how to create the atmosphere you want in different situations, from business to personal, using the way that you set the table, the way you seat people, what you have on display. We have Monica from Mexico, who's a makeup artist in the film industry and various things like that. And she brings that kind of looking at your face and mapping your face and how you're seen by other people and how other people see you. So she does some fascinating stuff. Fariba is an international Iranian journalist who brings her skills and experience. We have Aisha there, who's got a course next week on managing loss and grief. And she's a mindset and positivity coach. And you think, well, why is she doing a course on grief and loss and sad stuff? Well, that's perfect for a course on grief and loss and sad stuff, because she's the one that will turn you around and make life better. Elsa, who's with us tonight, who brings her skills from years in television. We've got Aileen, top right, who is a fitness and well-being coach, and she delivers courses around that. Diogo is a student. Lots and many people from all over the world, but we really are one big family who support each other. So, for instance, the cool thing about EMME is there's no hierarchy. It's like nothing I've ever worked in before. Even though this is Marco's baby, it's his concept, it's his life, his passion, he will never tell you that he's the boss. He's just a geographer of emotions, just like everybody else. We have a board that is all about pushing forward the business side of EMME. Anybody who is a geographer can join that board if you want to. This isn't, we pick the people we like. This is anybody who feels that they want to join in and contribute. We have a marketing team, exactly the same. If you want to join that and get involved, you're welcome to do that. And it's all very much a level playing field, great respect between each other. When any of us develops a service, we do trial runs where any of us can come along and give our feedback and support to help. We've got a trial run next week with a new geographer, Ivy. She's really nervous about it, but she's looking forward to the fact that amongst friends, she can do a first run of it so that she can iron out all the kinks, get that constructive feedback, and go forward far more confident when she's delivering it to the public. So that's the kind of things that we do. And we have over 150 different services. Online at the moment, but very soon live and kicking, delivered in multiple languages. So there are some courses that we have, for instance, and journeys and games that can be delivered in 3 or 4 different languages. So to different audiences all around the world. And we deliver to groups, to individuals, to companies, to schools, to organizations, all kinds of clients, which is fun when you're trying to, if any of you who are in business will know that the first thing you need to do is nail down your niche and understand who your ideal client is, we are very much about serving so many different ideal clients that has become a little difficult for us in our marketing, but we're dealing with that. And everything that we do is designed to promote personal growth and professional development. Bottom line, that is what we were about, making your life better. So Marco, tell us about our courses, journeys and games. You're on mute.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, of course, we cannot go through the 150 services that Ali mentioned. For those who are interested, of course, we will send you the full catalog, or you can download it easily from the website bertagniconsulting.com. There is in the training session of that website, there is a window about EMME and also about all the services. So you have the detail of all the courses, all the journeys, and all the games. But let's start from let's say we can say a few words about the three groups of services. The first one is especially intended for business or for schools or universities, but also for individuals. You know, it's because at the end, schools, universities, and companies, they are made by individuals. So we cannot lose individuals during our activity, because on the basically we are struggling for a sort of new humanism, if I can say that, because the human being is always in the center of all our projects. So we basically we can consider all these courses for individuals, but some of them are more specific, or let's say for the business. And for example, we have more than 20 courses that are designed for the business. In this case, when we put together the skills of the two geographers of emotions, basically, this is important to say preliminarily, each geographer with his or her skills, expertise, and everything is simply integrating all this into the general framework of emotional geography or emotional cartography. So in all our activities, it can be a course, it can be a journey, it can be a game. There is always a moment in which we will map our emotions of what we are doing. So the specific application of the topic we are facing that day. And the other thing is that we simply integrate the general knowledge of emotional geography with the specific knowledge of the geographer, of the single geographer. And this, as you know, 1 + 1 is never 2. In this case, I guess is 3, because the added value is really very high. Because I might say that all these courses are quite peculiar, quite original, quite innovative. I mean, we should not say that, but we do it with a little presumption. Sorry about that. But for example, in this cover page, from storytelling to story selling that you see there we have mixed two geographers, myself and Marco Barozzi. Marco Barozzi is one of the most skilled people in Italy, person in Italy, about exhibitions and international trade fairs. I got quite an experience in terms of corporate storytelling, because I am delivering this course in the last 2 years with Italian Trade Commission, Confindustria, and many companies. We estimated more than 2,000 companies with this corporate storytelling course. With Marco, we decided to put together our two things, and just giving to the theoretical part of the corporate storytelling the most concrete and practical part of story selling. So all things that are how to organize an exhibition, how to join an exhibition, how to organize your communication during an exhibition in order to get business results in terms of sales. So as you see, it's a path, because we defined each course educational path. So there we put together our skills, and we are delivering something that is really quite interesting, I might say, for companies, because they know a lot about communication. As you know, storytelling, it's not only about communication, but a lot of many other things, and also about selling, which after all, for a company pursuing business, is something quite important. And going to the courses more designed for educational institutions like schools or university, again, so far we have been delivering these courses in all kind of schools, from primary schools to high schools and to universities and post-university. So as you see, we are clever, because we talk about geography and emotions, and they are very wide. So that's why, and this might be a problem, as Ali said, in terms of defining our niche. But frankly, we have received very good feedbacks from 3-year-old children and from the general director of important university like Polydesign or La Sapienza. So we understand that we are doing well. We need still to work a lot on contents, of course. This is an ongoing work on contents, because even when we define, and we will define with each of you, hopefully, some proposals, you will see that's only a beginning. But it's very, very nice for each of us, because we don't have the impression that once we have a course, that's closed, that's done. No, each time we deliver it, we learn something more, and we add it to our course. So it's an ongoing process. And and then we have all these kind of individual conceived specifically for individuals, that they are really, you can find a huge amount of proposals. As Ali said before, we are really not only coming from many different countries, but each of us has a different expertise. So here we go from the course of acrobatic dancing to the course with actors or with psychologists about all kind of issues. I really, we have no time to make a list of the proposals, but this is also to let you know when you will make your proposal to EMME, to feel free. I mean, it does not necessarily to be something connected with your expertise, your business, what you have done so far. It can also be an idea that you have hidden somewhere and you want to develop it with us. That would be great, because I think that's also an important thing that we develop in EMME is we try to encourage people to follow their dreams, because you know, at the very beginning of this, when I was drawing the map, I met some friends that were just thinking I was crazy. Maybe they were right, but inside me, I knew that this thing was something that could lead somewhere. I didn't know where, but could lead somewhere. So I went on following my dream. And now we are, I mean, I don't say that's something important, but I think it's something beautiful and good that we are creating together. And it's just, I didn't follow at the beginning my expertise as a businessman. I just followed something that I didn't know at all. So drawing an emotional map, what is that? So, and at the end, we have created such a nice network. So I really encourage each of you to develop whatever you have. You have an idea, let's talk about it, and we will be really happy to develop together this idea, because I think that it can be useful for you to find a.
Uh-oh. He's frozen again. He'll come back when he gets back. Meanwhile, I'll tell you about our journeys. So we have 35 metaphysical and 17 geomyutical journeys. Now, let me just explain for those of you who don't know what these are. Metaphysical journeys are where online we take a journey together to different countries around the world, and you're led by a mentor who is somebody who is familiar with that country, maybe lives in that country. So for instance, I'm doing one for England in next week now, 18th of June we start. And what happens is you come along and we take you through the 6 principles of emotional geography, which are roots, earth roots, life, philosophy, freedom, and the other one that I forget right at this moment in time, my brain is gone. The 6 stages, emotions. Can I forget emotions? So we go through those 6 stages, and we have challenges, we have games, we travel with a travel mate that we haven't met before, so we learn about how to work with others. We learn about the place that we're visiting, metaphorically, metaphysically, and we grow in our storytelling abilities and the way that we share that journey together whilst learning something about a specific place. So that's metaphysical journeys, which we've done a few of. We've been to Patagonia, we've been to Garfagnana, and we're going to England next week. Welcome back, Marco. Do you want to tell us about geomyutical journeys? Because you've done those many times.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but anyway, yeah. So as part of that, you already
told them about
the metaphysical. Yeah, the physical journeys are, those that were quite popular before the COVID period. We have done like 10 geomyutical journeys. We call them geomyutical journey because places are a sort of tool or engine, how to say, motor to pull out our emotions. Because if we live places in a certain way, by following what's nowadays the English call mindfulness, and the Latin were used to call hic et nunc, here and now. If we apply this simple rule when we are in places, it is very easy to elicit our emotions. Of course, if you are in a place and you think about your problems or about something else, then you will never feel any emotion, even if you are in front of the most beautiful place on earth. So we try to develop this concept of being there in that moment when we do this kind of journeys. And these itineraries are conceived with a structure that it's a journey through time and through emotions, because we start considering our past, we then live emotions of our present, and we go to places that help us to elicit things that make us dream about our future. So all the places are selected in order to follow this scheme, and there are 6 stages in each journey that are earth, roots, emotions, life, philosophy, and freedom. These are the 6 chapters, and each chapter we do a huge amount of activities that can be just being in the place and watch and listen to the place, developing our senses, to giving some courses, some speeches, sharing some experience, playing some games, making some pictures, hunting emotions, a lot of things. Because these are what we need to say, I think, is that these are not a heavy journey. They are deep, hopefully, but not heavy. And they are always, we have a lot of fun in these games, and we develop a lot of empathy. And at the end of this of these weeks, people coming from different countries, they didn't know each other, they become really life friends, I can tell you. And this is very important to us, of course, because this is what we are looking for. Because doing a journey, being together with a group, not big groups, maximum 15 people for 1 week, and then at the end, everybody's looking forward to go back home. That would not be nice. But when it ends, it's really a moment of sadness, because you have to go back after such a week. So the next journey, we are organizing, scheduling a journey to Garfagnana in Tuscany in September, 4 to 11 of September. So that's the next journey schedule. And I really advise you to try to get there, because it's going to be big fun, and places are extremely beautiful, extremely beautiful.
Indeed. So basically, the metaphysical and the geomyutical journeys are very much the same, except for the metaphysical, you're online and you're seeing it all through the screen, whereas in the geomyutical, you are there in the place, experiencing the place. but the outcome is the same. The outcome is the same with both.
Absolutely.
And then we have our
Then
game.
the river games. Yes. Then we have the river games. These are games that we have created. So, and they are inspired again to the listening, mapping, managing emotion scheme. And they can be indoor or outdoor. And again, there's a lot to say, but we won't say this on each single game. What I can tell you is that we try by playing games, by having fun, to be also serious, but not to take ourselves too much serious because these are games. But during these games, people feel very comfortable, also in sharing things that are extremely important, maybe things that they never told anybody. But the atmosphere again that we create through these games is a nice one. And people, by answering maybe a question of geography or whatever, they tell always something about themselves, and they love also to listen to the others. We work a lot on listening during these games because talking, it's easier. Talking, we all love probably talking, but it's less important than being able to listen to others and to what is proposed during these games. So these are games in which we try to always develop the five senses, the respect for others, and also to watch situations from changing perspectives. And especially this one is the central concept of one of the five outdoor games that is playing for life. That is a game I love in particular because it is dedicated to a person that is not anymore among us. He is the son of a dear friend from Florence, Lorenzo, who was killed on a road murder 10 years, 11 years ago by a drunk driver. And Lorenzo is, for those who have read the book, The River of Life, is with me in this journey through emotional geography. And he's living in the lake of the stolen dreams. That is a lake where there are people who suffer from violence from other people, who have been killed from other people. So this concept of struggling against indifference, struggling against superficiality is very recurrent in all games, in all courses, in everything. And this game, Playing for Life, has been conceived in opposition to those who play with life, because driving drunk and many other things is about playing with life, with your life and someone else's life. So all these games have, as I can say, also moral power to make people think about something quite important, but always through having fun and being together. So this is a short summary about games. Of course, Ali and I, we are totally available for each of you once you have an overview of the games, the courses, to deepen each of the game you are interested in particular, or to develop a game together, because 2 or 3 of these games have been developed together with geographers of emotions. Because
Right.
of course that's also, as I said, a platform where each of you can make proposals and we can develop together.
Brilliant. Thanks, Marco. As you say, there are so many services that we deliver, but there is one thing that runs all the way through all of them, and that is emotional mapping. So let me tell you a little bit how the emotional mapping works, because this is the core of everything we do. So geo-emotional mapping, it is all about our journey along the river of our life. So in every map that we draw, we always include a river of some kind. And we do maps of the face, we do maps of areas, we do maps that cover your career, your relationships, your life, but always there is a river that runs through it. And these maps capture our journey right the way through from our past, where we are now, and help us to identify what needs to be done in order to move forward into our future. And as we said before, it's all about personal and professional growth. So we learn from these maps. Our clients, when they do these maps, the amount of wow moments that they get are astonishing. It's almost as if it's one thing to talk about your situation. It's quite another to put it down onto paper and to be able to view it as if it was a third party looking in on your life from the outside. Things become clearer. You understand so much more about where you've been, where you are, where you're going. So it really helps people to not just identify their issues, but to solve them and to work out how to make changes to move forward. All about seeing it from a third party perspective. And it's the biggest thing is people learn how strong they are. Because what we always say is, I am sat here today as a survivor of everything horrible that I've ever been through. And I've been through a lot of horrible stuff. You know, from a personal point of view, a really abusive marriage, losing my mum in a fire, all kinds of stuff that I've been through, but I've survived all of that. And when I plot my map emotionally, and I talk about those different situations in my emotional map, I'm reminded of how I survived those situations, how I was strong, what I did to get through. And that is incredibly powerful to help people to work on moving forward and moving away from trauma and issues in their lives. So as I say, we always include a river. You choose a situation or event or a time period. So you can map your whole life, you can map your career progress, you can map a particular relationship. We have a test run on a course next week, in the next couple of weeks, about remapping your home when you've experienced horrific issues in your relationship, in your home, and you're no longer feeling safe. So we map through the home. You can map any situation because every situation involves emotion and it involves geography. So you identify the pivotal moments from that journey or that situation, and you associate them with the emotion you felt at the time. Now, when we look back at our lives, we always remember how we felt at any particular time or in any particular situation. We might not remember where we were or who we were with or any of that kind of stuff, any of the noise, but we always remember what we felt like. So we focus on that emotion. And then you associate that emotion with a geographical feature or an astronomical feature or a life feature that resonates with that emotion. And in doing that, you create an imaginary place that is named for the emotion and the feature. That is simply what geo-emotional mapping is about at its essence. So for instance, the first day that I started work as a 16-year-old traveling to London from my home on a packed commuter train, you know, just a couple of years ago, obviously, my overwhelming emotion that I remember from that time is fear. I was terrified about starting a new job in a new place. I'd just left school. I didn't know anything. I was going out into the big wide world. So that's fear. And for me, a geographical feature that resonates with that is mountains, because it felt like I had mountains to climb. So on my emotional map, the day that I started work, it doesn't say started work 1st of April 1980 on that map. It says the mountains of fear. And I know exactly what that means. And it tells me so much about that situation, so much more than any map reference or date or written explanation can tell me. It reminds me exactly. And I can remember myself literally standing in the reception of that office building, almost shaking with fear, and I remember it. When it comes to when my first child was born, when my son was born, the emotion there is absolute joy. I don't think about the pain or all the other stuff that I went through. All I think about is joy. And for me, joy would be something like, from a geographical point of view, it would be a sunrise or a rainbow. So it's for the birth of my son, you'll see on the map that it's the rainbow of joy. I know exactly what that means. Even you know what that means now. You can feel, I'm sure, that same emotion as I'm explaining it in that way. So you create these imaginary places named for the emotion and the feature, and you map those along the river. And to help you do that in our courses, our games and our journeys to map, we use the wheels. And we have two different types of wheels. We have the life and situational mapping wheels. So on the left-hand side, we have all kinds of examples of geographical features, of astronomical features, of places. That's on the left. And on the right, we have some examples of emotions. Now, none of these are set in stone. You don't have to use these when you're mapping, but they help people to trigger, to think about and understand clearly what it is we're asking them to do. So we ask people when we're getting them to map to identify the emotion they felt at the time from the wheel on the right, or a different emotion if they want to, and then match it to one of the features on the wheel on the left. Very simple and easy to do. And when you can see it in front of you like that, it does make it easier, because a lot of people might find it hard to visualize, particularly the geographical feature, whereas when you've got them in front of you and you can see them, then that makes life easier. We also have, that we use in our business courses, personal and professional development courses, are skills mapping wheels. So we have, again, on the left, all the geographical features, and on the right, we have all kinds of skills broken down into leadership, management, influencing, interpersonal, personal, creativity, professional, communication, so that people can think about what skill it is that they were employing at that time and how that relates to a geographical feature. And from that, they can create maps that help them to develop their business, develop their career path, develop team management as well. This works really well in team management. So we use these wheels to help people to elicit and map their emotions on their map. And here's an example of just a few of our maps. So let me grab you through the one on the left. This one is a map of a journey around England, a geo-emotional map of a journey around England that people will be creating when they come to England with me next week. Then we've got this one here, which is about somebody's business progress and their life and business balance. This is a group map that people all drew together at the end of our visit to, I think we were on, when we went to Patagonia. So that's from a metaphysical journey. This is a map from the course on, I think this was the Cameron U, and mapping out your thoughts and feelings in relation to what you feel when you're thinking about delivering a video or a presentation on video, to help you analyze where your strengths are, what you need to change, what you need to work on. This big one is a map done by 6- and 7-year-old children who will, I mean, Marco, tell people about this map, because it's fascinating.
Yeah. This is, as I said before, it was a great joy to work with children, because I learned so much with them. Now you see with Ali, she's English, so she knows how to sum up things much better than me. I am from the Mediterranean, so I try. I'm very romantic when I explain, but when I explain emotional mapping, it takes time to me to say how to match emotions with places and things. Not in this map, but in another map drawn by another class of 6 years old people. Someone had drawn a place called the Gulf of Intelligence. It was a very nice map with a lot of places, and there was a place called the Gulf of Intelligence. And I asked who did, because there was the whole class in front of me, who did draw the Gulf of Intelligence? And a little kid, 7 years, 6 years, he said, it was me. And I asked him, why did you did you draw the gulf of intelligence? And he answered, you know why? Because when I say something clever, I feel good, I feel protected, I feel safe. And so I thought that a gulf, similarly, it protects people from the waves of the sea. And so I created the gulf of intelligence. You see, in 10 seconds, the child explains everything we need to know about emotional geography. And this is to say that it's really very natural to do all these kind of things. But also it's very deep what we do, because once you have drawn your life, you can even spend hours, days, months on that map, just watching it, because every time you watch it, some new things come out. And this helps you to have a better picture of your life and to improve the quality.
And I'll give you a quick warning. When you start mapping, you carry on mapping. Because it kind of gets you like it becomes, every time I'm thinking about my business strategy, or I'm thinking about a course I want to develop, or I'm thinking about issues I have in maybe my relationship with one of my kids, then I can always map it and things become clear. It's astonishing how things become clear. And through it all, the river of life runs through it all. It's all based on that river of our lives.
Cool. So as you can see, many maps. Now what we do, of course, is we get people to draw their maps, and then it's about analysing the map afterwards as well. And for everybody who joins as a geographer or a licensee, we train you all about the analysis. But in brief, we can divide our maps into 6 different areas. So the earth, which is the past, roots, the past, emotions and life, which tend to be the present, philosophy, present into future, and freedom is the future. And that's how we break it all down. So emotional evolution. And then also the importance of travel. So there's traveling into ourselves to learn about ourselves. There's traveling to new places, physically or metaphysically, to gain new experience and new knowledge. And then there's traveling beyond our own boundaries and expanding our horizons through learning new skills, new knowledge, new information. So all of those things come into the analysis of the mapping as well, because although people just by doing their map learn so many things, in a structured way, we can take them through how to use that map in order to make changes and make a difference in the future. And what you need to know is, if you want to know more about this and do a map for yourself, which is absolutely the best way to understand it, we are playing Map Out Your Emotions, which is one of our games, on the 16th of June, 5 to 8 p.m. UK time. This is required for anybody who wants to become a geographer or a licensee, because we need you to have done that and understand the core and the essence of it all before you can think about going out and getting other people to do it. And everybody in this session will draw their river of life map. So literally, and I've written it there, but be amazed at the power of this methodology. So after this course, I'm going to send out the link to this recording. I will send out a PDF of the slides, so all of the links are there for you to book to go on to those if you want to. As I say, it's mandatory if you want to become a geographer or a licensee, but it's also great fun just to play as a game for 3 hours of an evening, and you will learn so much about yourselves. So that's about mapping out your emotions and how we map emotionally. Does anybody got any questions on that at this point in time? Either wave your hand in the air. Let me get my full gallery up here. I can see everybody. Has anybody got any questions? Oh, there's a hand. Lucia, that's Lucia, did you have a question? Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. Yes, thank you, Ali. My question is literally in relation to the, the terminology that you use. You know, the geomyetical. Myetical, is that a word that EMME, sorry, created and made?
You make it up. Marco, that's your question.
Yeah, sorry about this term. Is quite specific. It has a philosophical origin. The first one to, how to say, to exercise the art of maiotics was Socrates, the philosopher, because he was able, well, in many things, but especially in pulling out words from people. He was used to ask a lot of things to people, just going walking in Athens. He was meeting a person and asking him many, many things. And this is considered the art of maiotics. I don't know, in English, I think you said the art of maieutica in Italian. So
Yeah.
the art of pulling out something. That's why we call geomaiutical journeys, because as I said, places are something that's, if you really leave the places, they will help you in eliciting. Maiotics is something like eliciting, connected to eliciting something. That's about maiotics, Lucia. I don't know.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question. It's Fabrizio here. Just about the kind of training course and the kind of full schedule of training. If you can give us a bit more detail on what will be the different topic and different, I would say, specification and you know, more detailed environments that we can then apply.
Okay, so to clarify, kind of detail on what situations we deliver our courses, games and journeys, or about the training to become a geographer.
Yeah, yes, correct. The second one, I saw, you know, very quickly a slide. I thought it was an Excel where I thought there were kind of modules that needs to be accomplished. And
yeah, no, that was me literally looking for the names of the people that had booked to come tonight so that I could send them the link, because there are a couple of people who
I thought
that was
because you were talking at the same time about, you know, a set of, you know, meetings and things. I thought that were already a kind of, you know, schedule.
It's all planned, it's all scheduled, and we're going to get to that in about 3 slides time.
Okay, fantastic.
So we will be going through all of that, don't worry. Yeah, so yeah, I apologize for that. It was like, because I was sharing one screen and that came up on that screen, and it's, you know, technical blips that we have here and there. Yeah, we're getting to that one, no problem. But before we get to that one, Marco is going to tell you a bit about what our clients get from EMME.
Well, apart from what is written here, I think it's, if I can say in one word what they get, it doesn't matter if they are CEOs of companies or 3-year-old children. It's being natural, just believing in themselves. I mean, not being afraid of emotions, because they don't kill you. I mean, they don't kill you. I don't want to say anything about emotion. It's a very delicate issue, but it's a risk. I think we send a message not to be afraid of sharing your emotions, because out there in the world there are very bad people, yes, but the most of them, I think we need to start thinking that are not so bad. 99.99999% of people are not bad. Of course, a bad person can hurt you if you share your emotions, but it's a risk we need to run, because if we go on being afraid of a person we don't know, just watching the face of this person, saying that that's a bad man or a bad woman or whatever, he comes from Jamaica, he comes from Italy, is I don't know, give these stereotypes. We feed ourselves with a lot of stereotypes. I think that what we do, generally speaking, with games, courses, and everything, is just to try to deliver this message that believe in yourself and not be afraid of other people, and learn how to live in this world, because it's the only one we have. And don't be judgmental. Yes, that's don't be judgmental on anything, on people, on places. Just let you go, like the flow of a river. Yeah, I think more than the technicalities, this is what I really would love to share with you today, if asked about the power of emotional mapping. Again, about the power we have been telling you, it's I think that the most important power of emotional mapping is feeling free. It's not the case that we put as a soundtrack to the video on the maps Free of Stevie Wonder, because mapping gives you a sort of freedom. It can be painful sometimes, because going back, especially in complex moments of your life, can be painful, but then you feel free because you told yourself the truth, and also you are not afraid to tell also other friends or people that you never met about your life. If you are asked, tell me about the most dramatic moment of your life, it's maybe difficult for you to tell someone you never met about that. But if you draw the peak of sadness and then you are asked about describing your itinerary, it comes very natural to explain why you have drawn the peak of sadness. And it's a game, but very serious. So, and at the end, in any case, even if you don't want to share anything with anybody, but just drawing your map for you is a moment of freedom, a moment of reflection, a moment of better know yourself. So this is, I think, the most important thing to say about emotional mapping. About the overall project, as I said, there are a lot of skills that hopefully we help people to develop. And so the most important one is not being afraid of other people and of your emotions.
Yeah, and one of the key ways that emotional mapping does that is it allows you insight into yourself. And you know yourself better. And when you know yourself better, your confidence will grow. Your strength will grow. Your ability to handle different situations, your ability to relate to people, all of that grows when you have a greater understanding of self. And that is all of that is the power of emotional mapping. It is multi-powerful. It does many, many different things. So, what does EMME offer you? So first of all, there are a couple of different ways that you can become involved with EMME. The first is to become a geographer of emotions, like myself and Marco and the other 71 geographers. What happens then is you develop your own course or journey or game or all three. And that's based on your individual skill set and the needs of your ideal client. And it's what you want to do, your dream, your idea. And we support you through training. So first of all, there's a training schedule, which I'll talk about in a bit. We support you with peer review on trial runs. We provide you with tools for developing your courses and games and journeys. We support you all the way with developing the service that you are going to deliver. We then work with you to promote your service internationally through the EMME social media, through the social media of the 73 geographers of emotions. And we are working at the moment on looking at specific paid advertising for specific services. Once your service has been developed and publicised, we then pay you for delivering it. So this is how it works as a geographer. You develop your service and then we pay you to deliver it. We handle all of the booking and administration around your service. You just have to develop it, do your own promotion of it and deliver it. And you have the support of all the other geographers. You can be involved, as I mentioned before, in our board or our marketing groups and become more of a part of the family of it. There's also other things you can do in earning a 20% finder's fee for everyone you introduce who books onto our courses, not the ones you're delivering, obviously, but any other MA courses. As a geographer, you get a geographer's number. Marco, of course, is 001. And you get your number. We're up to 073 at the minute. And when people book on courses, your friends, your family, whoever, if you give them that number and they add that on the end of their surname, then you will get 20%, not just for that course, but for any course that they book onto in the future as well. That number is forever attached to their name. If you deliver a course and you only speak English, for instance, but it is a course that somebody else could take and deliver in another language. So my schools course for school children, emotional development for schools children, is currently being translated into French and German by one person to deliver it somewhere, and in Italian to be delivered by somebody else. You don't have to do anything then other than give them permission to translate and deliver the course. And when they deliver it, you get paid a percentage of the fees that come in from that course. And you can also earn residual income from personally marketing your pre-recorded courses. So if you record your course, so for instance, I record my writing skills course and I have separate recorded modules that people can buy. When you sell those, you just pay a fee to EMME and then you keep the rest for yourself, and you don't have to do anything because you already recorded it and it's done. So that is about becoming a geographer of emotions in summary. And there is a full training that we're doing on the 3rd of July for everybody that runs for 3 or 4 hours on Saturday morning, 3rd of July, that is going to go through all of that in absolute detail. There is contracts that go with that for your peace of mind as much as anything else, and to enable us to pay you. We go through all of that. We go through the PowerPoint slide deck that we would expect you to use, and we give you a copy of to develop your courses. We go through in more detail the journeys and the games and how we deliver those. So all of that comes with the training. The other thing you can do is become a licensee. So you might not want to be a geographer of emotions. You might not want to deliver your courses or services as part of EMME, but you might think emotional mapping is absolutely superb to integrate into my business. So if you're a coach, for instance, or you're working in mental health, any of those kind of things where you give one-to-one or group support or presentations or courses, you might want to use emotional mapping in that you just do on your own and in your own time. And we give people a license because the wheels and the methodology are licensed. They're registered. We can issue you with a license to use those in your own business. So again, you come on the training on the 3rd of July because we will go through that. And again, you would need to have come on the Map Out Your Emotions next Wednesday. But on top of being a licensee and using it in your own business, you can also still, because we will give you a licensee number as well. So you'll be able to earn a 20% finder's fee for anybody who comes onto our courses, except your own, obviously. And you'll earn another 10% for everyone you introduce who signs up as a licensee. And again, you can earn residual income from personally marketing your pre-recorded courses. You just have to pay a fee to EMME for all of those. So that's becoming a licensee. So that's literally saying, I love emotional mapping. I really want to include it in my business, but I don't particularly want to be a geographer of emotions and deliver under your banner. I want to deliver under my own. And we have a license agreement for that again, we go through with you on the training. So what happens next? And this is the structure. So you know now about EMME and the power of emotional mapping, and hopefully you want to continue your journey with us. You choose whether to be a geographer of emotions or a licensee, or both. You can be both. You can be a geographer of emotion who delivers a course or a game or a journey under the EMME banner. But you can also be a licensee, which enables you to use it in your coaching and your everyday business for stuff that isn't badged as EMME, but is your business. You fill out your application form, either to become a geographer or a licensee, or both. You come along to map out your emotions on the 16th of June, because that way you will then know the power of emotional mapping for yourself, which is essential before you can use it for anyone else. And then you will be invited to a free training workshop on the 3rd of July, and you will either start your journey as a geographer, in which case you have the ongoing support in developing your courses, journeys and games, or you go away with your license and you start using emotional geography in your business. But even then, we don't leave you on your own. If you have questions, concerns, need more information, you can contact us anytime. You're still part of the EMME family, whether you like it or not. We suck you in and you can't go again. So that is the structure of the training. Now, the other thing as well is, if your interest is purely about your own personal and professional development, then join us as an attendee on any of our courses, journeys or games. Details are available through the Britannia Consulting website, which the address is there, and you are going to get these slides. Or you can join our Facebook group, where we post all the news about our events and everything that's happening and everything that's going on. And we, as an interested person, or what we call a friend of EMME, you can come along at any time and change your mind and join us as a geographer, join us as a licensee. And we do intakes 4 times a year. So this one is now for July. We will do the next one in October, and then the following one in January. And so it works in 3-month sessions like that. So that is the magical world of EMME, what it can do for you, what it can do for your business, what it can do for your clients. Has anybody got any questions? Michael, speak away.
Hello.
Hello.
Just a quick one about costs. What are the costs of all this? 10% of what? 20% of what?
Oh, okay. The cost to become a geographer of emotions is 0. You don't pay to become a geographer of emotions. We give you all of that for nothing. And then when you deliver your courses, we pay you. For courses, it's €80 an hour. For journeys, it's €60 an hour. And for games, it's €30 an hour. So we actually pay you for the hours that you deliver your courses, games or journeys. So that's being a geographer of emotions. The 10% and the 20% are fees that you can earn. So if somebody books on one of our courses that say £100, but you've recommended them, you will get £20 of that, because you get the £20 fine, the 20% finder's fee. If you introduce somebody to us who later comes on to become a licensee, it's £99.99 a year. That's all it is, which is ridiculous. But that's, I suspect it might go up for new people in the future. But we're starting it out at $99.99. If somebody comes along and joins, you get 10% of that for introducing them. So there's all kind of add-ons for little bits that you can earn. We have somebody that has come to us with a specific business plan that I'm working on with her now, because she has lots and lots of corporate contacts, and she wants to bring corporations along to introduce them to us, so that we will go in and deliver our courses, and she will be paid a 20% fee on everything that corporations pay us to deliver our courses, even though she will not do anything other than introduce them to us. So there's all kinds of ins and outs and ups and downs, and all of that will be covered in detail on the training that we do. The first step is, are you interested in emotional geography? Can you see the potential of it for you personally or for your business? Do you feel like becoming a licensee, or do you want to become a geographer, or both? come along and do the map out your emotions on the week today on the 16th. The link to book that and everything will all be in the slides and everything. We send you in the email that I'm going to send out after this event anyway. Come along to that, really understand the power of it, make your decision, let us know what you want to do. We'll send you the paperwork that is around it. You can read it through, ask any questions. If you have any concerns, talk to us about that. You can set up one-to-one meetings with us if you want to chat about it on a personal and private level. And then we invite you along once we have your application to the 3rd of July training event, where you will get to know everything that you need to know about being a geographer or being a licensee. If after you've done all that, you decide that actually it's not for you, it's not what you thought, no problem, no worries at all. And if you've already paid a license fee and you decide you don't want to be a licensee anymore, we'll give you your feedback. It's very, very simple. Does that make sense? Cool. Any other questions?
It's one question for me. Do you have any platform, or, I mean, how do you deliver these courses? Do you work with a particular learning management system? What is let's say, the media, and how do you deliver all this content?
We deliver generally on Zoom as individuals, delivering our courses and games and services, or if now we're getting back to life with COVID, fingers crossed, going away a little bit, in situations, we just deliver as individuals in that way. We don't use a platform as such.
Okay, so you don't have any, let's say, learning management system that can deliver and, I would say, magnify even the volume of the course at this stage?
Not yet, but it's something that if somebody comes along to EMME like yourself, who understands how those work.
I was going to tell you, Fabrizio, that could be really a good idea.
Yeah.
Remember you told me that's
okay, cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're
for you here in Nancy, okay?
What we've done is for 5 years it's been live on a one-to-one basis, and mostly in Italy. COVID forced us online, as it did everybody, but that's been an absolute joy and revelation. But we are still, 6 months into online. We're always open to anybody who wants to come along and help us to grow how we do these things and teach us the things that we don't know, because EMME is all about sharing knowledge. So that would be cool.
Cool. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cassiana, did you have something to say?
I do. I'm interested in both. I'm just wondering if, how does it go? Like, do I do both together, or do I have to choose perhaps the licensee first and then the other one? I mean, in terms of work that's involved in time to, to develop everything. And first, you spoke about the geography of emotions process, and I just felt this fire in my belly, but I held my breath because it was like, oh, all of my limiting beliefs came up like showering over me. Who am I to create a course? What am I gonna talk about? And I know exactly what I want to do, but I guess my question is, I think I know the answer, but like, how can I find the resources inside of me to create the course with all of your support and everything? Something that's valuable and authentic, and will actually help people. That's my fear of not being able to deliver. Yeah, that's my question. Whether I should do both, or first one, then another.
Okay. Question one. You can do them both together, one at a time, any order that works for you. That's fine. You can deliver a course that you want to deliver under EMME that we pay you for delivery, but that you also deliver exactly the same course as just your business and yourself outside of EMME as a licensee. So you can do the two together.
I would suggest to become first a geographer of emotions, because we have a structure that I can say we really support all of us. We support each other creating a very balanced and very interesting course. And to do this, there is a, we will talk about this on the 3rd of July, there is a structure, quite flexible, but a structure. There are test runs. I mean, when we created all these courses, each of us has had the possibility of making a test run, just with friends among geographers. And these have been really very important moments for how to say, fine tuning each experience, because you know, someone tells you, I loved it, but this is maybe to be improved, and things come out. And at the end, when we deliver the course, we are more than sure that things will go well. And a lot of people, even very shy, really could take courage. And again, as I said, we not only try to help people to not being afraid of their emotion, but also believing more in themselves, because each of us has talents, and we try to create a field where to grow these talents, and things are very natural. You don't have to worry about anything, really. It's we are among friends. If we are not more than comfortable in mapping, in delivering a speech, we don't do anything. We don't force any situation. We just,
as a life coach, whenever so many people have said exactly the same thing as you. I have these limiting beliefs. Who am I to do this? How can I do this? I will work with you on a coaching basis to help you overcome those issues if you have them. So we have that in place as well. Elsa.
And Ali, we must tell Cassiana that you have a course on how to deliver exactly that. So Ali has a course on how to do it, which I did with her the other day. It's extremely comprehensive. I've done my own courses for ages, and she actually gave me insight on how to do a couple of other things. So there's your girl. Ali will help you do your courses. I can also help you with the confidence. We could all work together.
We do. We all work together. It's a huge family. Lucia.
Yes, yeah. I also have a question. So my question is, let's say we become a geographer. Like, you know, when I actually came first, Cassiana, my intention, it was just like, no, maybe a licensee, and I'm going to be do something else. But as soon as I became more aware and know exactly what it is, it's like, no, I want to be part of this family regardless. So yes, so my question is, to become an attendee, like, you know, for other people, you know, for other colleagues of ours that are, you know, delivering the course, we have to become a geographer, or it's just a licensee? Sorry, I'm not sure if I got that correct. And then also, as a geographer, are we automatically licensees, or we have to be, you know, to pay for, you know, for license to become a licensee, and then we are geographers?
As a geographer, you deliver courses under the banner of EMME, and we pay you for those. If you want to add being a licensee as an extra option to run courses or use emotional geography in your coaching, in your personal coaching business, then you can add that to it. So you don't automatically become a licensee if you become a geographer. Does that make sense? What was your first question?
The other one is as a support, you know, being part, like, let's say, you know, somebody's delivering a course and we just want to go there, you know, to support, really, like, you know, like we are, but, you know, just as a support, like for the initial run, like, you know, let's say that people not just have the one guest there. You know, do we have to be a geographer? Is that, you know, I didn't quite get there.
To attend the test runs where we get an overview of the course and we get to help people and feedback, you have to be a geographer to do that. We keep that in the family.
Perfect. Yes.
If you wanted to attend a course as a client, once you're a geographer of emotions, you will automatically get 20% off of every course that you undertake as a geographer. Okay, brilliant. Anything else? Marvelous. Well, thank you, everybody. I will be, Fabrizio, did you put your hand in the air then? Did you have a thought?
No, it's fine. Thank you so much.
If you have any questions that come to you later and you know how people always think, oh, I wish I'd said this, that or the other, just email me or email Marco. I'm going to send you all the details. I will send you the recording link. I will send you the PDF of the slides. Have a think about what you want to do. Come and join us next week on Wednesday for Map Out Your Emotions, where you will be blown away by the power of it, I guarantee. And then we will continue our journey together from there. Okay?
Thank you, everybody.